Hello dear students, our subject is simultaneous translation, the theme enhancing memory in the process of translation. Let's firstly brainstorm. Differences between interpreting and translating. What is IACI? What is JICS? Have you ever experienced simultaneous translation? What is the role of having good memory in translation? What kind of difficulties have you come across in the process of translation? How important is memory for interpreters? What methods or techniques do you know improving memory? IACI, International Association of Consultant Interpreters. JICS, European Commission of Joint Interpreting and Conference Service. What is a short-term memory? Short-term memory, sometimes referred to as primary or active memory, is a part of memory which stores a limited amount of information for a limited amount of time, roughly 15 serene seconds. According to Giles' effort model, a processing capacity account, short-term memory is an essential part in the process of interpreting. It is believed that interpreting is an STM-centered activity, which includes encoding of information from the source language, storing of information, retrieval of information, and decoding of information into the target language. Role of short-term memory in interpreting. Short-term memory is proven to contribute in some stages. Phases in interpreting process of the two modes, consecutive and simultaneous interpreting. Mahmoudzadeh also emphasizes that a skillful interpreter is expected to have a powerful memory. As an essential part of interpretation, short-term memory undoubtedly takes a very important role in interpreting that comes as a vital condition of interpreters working in terms of capacity, time duration, and source speech features. What is mnemonics? A mnemonic is the first M is not pronounced. Device or memory device is any learning technique that aids information retention or retrieval, remembering, and the human memory. Mnemonics make use of elaborative encoding, retrieval cues, and imagery as specific tools to encode any given information in any way that allows for efficient storage and retrieval. Mnemonics aid original information in becoming associated with something more accessible or meaningful, which in turn provides better retention of the information. Ancient Greeks and Romans distinguished between two types of memory: the natural memory and the artificial memory. The former is inborn and is the one that everyone uses instinctively. The latter, in contrast, has to be trained and developed through the learning and practice of a variety of mnemonic techniques. Mnemonic systems are techniques or strategies consciously used to improve memory. They help use information already stored in long-term memory to make memorization an easier task. There are a few different types of mnemonic devices: imagery and visualization. Our brains remember images much more easily than words or sounds. So translating things you want to remember into mental images can be a great mnemonic device. For example, if you are trying to learn a new language, you might benefit from creating mental images from some of the vocabulary words. Acronyms and acrostics. An acronym is a word or words formed by using the first letter of the items you want to remember. For example, to remember the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, you could use the acronym ROY-G-B. An acronym is a mnemonic device that takes the first letter of each item you want to remember and uses those letters to make a new, memorable sentences or phrase. Some popular acrostics are order of operations in algebra: parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. With those first letters we can make the sentence, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." Order of the planets in the solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Those letters can be used to make the sentence, "My very excellent mother just served us nachos." Rhymes. Rhymes are a great mnemonic device. They use acoustic encoding to make concepts easier to remember. Here is a rhyming mnemonic you might know. I before E except after C, and when sounding like A, S in a neighbor, and V. Chunking. This mnemonic device breaks down larger pieces of information into small, easy to remember pieces or chunks. Since our brains can only process so much information at a time, this device helps simplify information that might otherwise be too complex to remember. A good example of chunking is 10-digit US phone numbers, which are broken into 2 3-digit sets and 1 4-digit sets. 8772450347 is much easier to digest and remember. Shadowing. According to Lonergan, shadowing is usually used as a method of training simultaneous interpreters in terms of listening, concentration, and short-term memory effectiveness. Word performance. In form of academic practice, this method uses a list of words preferred in foreign language in different forms or part of speech. At the simple level, trainees are asked to rewrite as many words as possible. For example, look at exercise number 5. Cat, run, interesting, usually, very, throughout, forgot, phenomenon. More complicated, each listed word can be attached with a number. Then trainees are required to rewrite the word with the corresponding number or follow the new order of numbers. Look at exercise number 6. Complex rewriting. Dog, interpret, sophisticated, rarely, extremely, during, overloaded, formulas. Task 1. Word performance. Whispered interpreting. Sit in a booth. The conference room. The target language. Emphasize. The delegate. Interpretation. Resynthesis. Task 2. Shadowing exercise. Building up powers of retention. Shadowing exercise. Please repeat after me. The Middle East crisis. Tip. UN brings a solution to the Middle East crisis. Iraqi state television proudly broadcast coffee. Interpreted. Tape. Anna's last act of a diplomacy before leaving Baghdad, after signing the deal to end the standoff. Interpreted. Iraqi. Tape. With Iraq, the UN Secretary General spends the afternoon as a guest of Deputy Prime Minister. Interpreted. Task 3. Mnemonic to memory. 30 days has September. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone, all the rest have 31. Excepting leap year, that is a time when February's days are 29. Task 4. Newspaper news translation. Steps recommended. Take a newspaper article or record a brief news or a paragraph of a journal, a book, 7,500 in length, and scan it for a short 1-2 minutes, or listen to the tape for only one time. Put the article face down or stop listening and repeat as fluently as possible in the article's language. Translate the article aloud. Exercise 3. Newspaper translation. Deflation. HK deflation slows. Hong Kong's consumer prices fell 0.9% last month, the slowest pace in almost 3 years, as rising household spending and booming tourism enabled stores, hotels and restaurants to slash discounts. The decline from a year earlier followed a slide of 1.5% in April, the government said, and was the smallest since July 2001. Let's conclude our lesson. To sum up, memory skills are the most fundamental requirements for the students of English department to be a proficient interpreter in the future. They include quickness of speech and mind, good techniques in memorizing and converting verbal utterances, and power of concentration. No one enters the field of interpreting with all of the skills and traits necessary to be successful. Many of these prerequisites come with experience. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.